Member for Maitland.
Thank you, Mr Temporary Speaker. It is a true privilege to stand here tonight and to support our firefighters, the men and women who save our homes, who save our properties, our workplaces, our businesses, but most importantly, our lives and our health. It is vital that on a day like today, where we see the government finally coming to address this issue in the House, this issue that has been the subject of a long campaign by the FBEU, and I acknowledge some of their members in the gallery tonight, including Leighton Drury and Gino, and David. Yeah. And I recognise your fight for this, and I also recognise the efforts of the member for Fairfield, the Shadow Minister, who has met with you extensively, and also the contributions of the other members that have been made tonight. And while we on this side welcome this bill, as long as it has been in coming forward, we know that it must be improved. And the reason for that is very clear. When I look in the chamber, and when I spoke to him earlier today, Gino De Bono spoke to me, and we hear these discussions around costs and dollars as an excuse for not making this legislation apply retrospectively to those brave men and women who have fought fires and other emergencies for our state, who have saved countless lives. When we talk about a dollar value on that, it sickens me to the core. What cost has Gino De Bono played? He joined Fire Rescue New South Wales in 1989. It's a 30-year career that he has had. He is still serving today after all that he has been through on behalf of our whole community. He was diagnosed with brain cancer in October 2015. He has looked his own mortality in the face directly. He's had 2 invasive surgeries. He's had 30 days of radiation therapy and spent thousands of dollars of out-of-pocket expenses. But this government, this heartless, cruel government, wants to reduce his battle with cancer to a dollar figure, which it says, despite that 30 years of service to our state, he is not entitled to, because his cancer came before this bill comes into effect. That is a complete disgrace. I was told earlier today as well, I couldn't meet David, he was too unwell to meet with us at this time when I was talking to them, that he too has had a terrible experience with cancer, diagnosed just in May this year. And despite his 30 days of radiation, his 6 months of chemotherapy, his over $10,000 of out-of-pocket expenses, his surgery that was invasive, he is not entitled to any compensation under this bill. It is a disgrace. We know that the top industrial causes of cancer are shift work, tick, working with diesel particulates, tick, working with chemicals. The chemicals that these firefighters work with are things like PFAS, asbestos, diesel spills, ruptured fuel tanks. We know that the modern houses, the modern construction, the fires take hold much quicker than before. They are much more dangerous. What used to take 25 minutes to burn to the ground now takes 5 minutes. And the chemicals that are released in that are a disgrace. Earlier today I posted something on Facebook about an issue that's affecting firefighters in my community around the clean-up for them personally and the lack of access to amenities for some of our firefighters to do proper washdowns of their clothes, of themselves, to get them out of the way so that they can at least get rid of the toxic chemicals from them. And the government's dragging its chain on that too, and the rollout of that. So what we're seeing here is a government that's quite happy to take 30 years of Gino's service, 30 years of his life, 26 years of David's life, and just say, sorry, we don't need to look after you. That is a terrible situation for us to be in. One of the stations in New South Wales here, Baddo Bay, has 6 out of 16 firefighters have got cancer. This bill acknowledges that this is a workplace risk, and yet this government refuses to look backwards so that the families of these people and they themselves can look forward. One of the things about cancer these days is that with earlier detection, we have options. These people have the capacity to recover from their cancer. And with that in mind, we need to support them economically. And where their cancer has been caused by their work, it is unthinkable that we will not pay workers' compensation to them. In this case, we've got someone who got cancer diagnosed yesterday, not eligible, but after this bill comes into effect, eligible. It just doesn't make sense. It is unfair and it's disgraceful, and this government needs to make sure that they act. The people in my community are rightly outraged about this. We rely on our fire and rescue service personnel, our firefighters, the heroes of our community, to keep us safe. The very least that we can do as a community and that this government should be doing is to protect them. I've had 20 or more emails in my office on this issue from people requesting that I support this legislation. And how can I look them in the face? How can I look Gino and David in the face and all those other firefighters who have been diagnosed, who have suffered so much through a cancer experience caused by their work, and say, sorry, there's not enough money in the pot for you? It is just outrageous. I would like to use this opportunity to thank all of our firefighters for the work that you do every day, and to thank you for the sacrifices that you have made. I know from close family friends how hard it is to do the work you do, and from speaking to the many firefighters that I've spoken to about the impact of their work. It goes far beyond what anyone would want to do in their day-to-day work. The horrors that you experience, the fears that you face, and the very real danger are something that is incomprehensible to most people. And I wish that we had a government in New South Wales that would treat you with the respect and the dignity that you deserve. And I commend the bill to the House with the amendment that will make this a bill that every firefighter, that every family that relies on those firefighters will find some comfort from, and be able to continue just as these brave men have been able to, and so many other firefighters in our state. Thank you.